Neverending Beginnings. Trigger warnings for generational trauma, depression, suicide, alcoholism, general themes of uneasiness, and mental health struggles. This is the start of something. The start of a speech, the start of a story, the start of a journey we're setting off on today, together. The start. Do you know where you started from? Do you ever look back on the beginning? Sometimes I wonder how it can be that there are so many beginnings, that we are always starting somewhere. How many beginnings does one's life hold? And how many ends? Who would we be if we focused less on the ends, the middles, the little details, and focused more on each beginning? If life were an endless matrix of beginnings, then each moment would feel fresher. Past experiences wouldn't weigh us down. Current experiences wouldn't find correlation or causation. It would be a life of living, of taking each moment as it comes to us, finding a first in things you had done countless times because that was the first time you'd done it in this beginning, in this life. And I know this sounds idealized. How can we forget our past? How can we not be upset by what happened? How can we rewrite ourselves to be future-oriented? How? I try so hard to find only beginnings, and sometimes I still get caught, the middles and endings jostling past, forcibly making their way to the forefront until I acknowledge them, give them a little hug, and gently guide the beginnings back up. This speech isn't about knowing. It's about growing into something together, growing into new beginnings, so we can grow into new endings. I was born at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was the only baby born that night. It was just me, my parents, my 3-year-old older brother, the doctor, a few nurses, and a cloud of liquid oxygen leaking from a storage tank, heading for the parking lot asphalt. I'm told that had it succeeded, had those two characters arranged a meeting, had the wind a concerned father in a car and subsequent emergency services been thwarted, the chemical reaction that meeting would have caused would have blown the entire wing of the hospital sky high. It's likely no one would have survived. I was told this story from a young age. My parents reframed it to say I had saved so many lives, simply because I was the only baby born that night. And I always felt proud to have done so. Felt I had lived up to some sort of potential. Felt I had a destiny that I'd already fulfilled. I was a normal baby, born into a seemingly normal family, on a night that wasn't normal. If only life could have stayed so simple. If only life were that straightforward. If only every beginning could be that joyful. I began high school at 14. A month in, my whole world was shattered. This was a beginning that would shape an entire future. My parents separating and later divorcing, becoming an end without an end. Recently, I was filling out a form and it asked me if I had lost a parent. And in the parentheses, it stated, divorce included. I never saw it that way before, but I suppose that's what happens with divorce. I lost both my parents that year, for many years after. Sometimes I still feel like they're miles away when we're sitting right next to each other, as if when I reach out, I'm still that same little person, wishing my parents wouldn't shout, wouldn't drink, would take some time to think about their actions and how they affected me. I feel so small then, an ant in giant's clothing. I watch while they turn their backs and leave. In the past, when I talked about my experience of growing up as the middle child of 2 alcoholics, one angry, loud, yelling, one absent, dismissive, unaware, both too emotionally immature to support their children through the chaos they were causing, I focused a lot on the anger I felt, that I still often feel. But anger is easy. It demands to be seen. It's what protects you from the harder feelings, the ones that can cause you true agony. Those, the buried deep, the underneath, those are what I want to tell you about in this new beginning. I want to pivot. I want to talk to you about sorrow, about how many times a heart can break, about how many tears a teenager can cry, about how long you can withstand the worst things in your life and still survive. You can rebuild yourself all by yourself, or with some help if you want. And by holding on to your kindness, your empathy, your love, you can use that to see that what happened or what's happening is not right. We know that it will never be right, and we have every right to be devastated. Whether you're like me, abusive or absent parents, or your trauma is different, the feelings behind it, they can be the same. There is so much pain. I can feel it. Can you? By beginning to look at your open wounds, you're acknowledging that they could use some bandages. People who don't feel pain still get hurt. The difference is that the hurt can't heal correctly unless you feel it. When you do, be gentle with whatever it is that's in pain, nurture it. Take your soul, for example. When you mend it, you might do so thinking you will never feel whole, but new growth can fill in those holes. You don't have to remain empty. There's so many building supplies in your bloodstream waiting for someone with construction expertise, a sticker labeling them, paid for. Please find a place for me. I want to be. There is joy in every little thing. I know it's a cliche to say, but I don't care. You can sue me. Nothing can take away how I feel when I notice cattails dancing in the wind. New details in that book I've read over and over again. My best friend's laugh, fire-breathing mist and cold winter air. My favorite blanket. I'm laying there wrapped up in it. When I eat something delicious and the taste explodes on my tongue. The tiniest splinter stuck in my thumb. A crow on my doorstep calls back when I say hi. All of these are beginning if you look on them with fresh eyes. This is how we need to live when we feel like we want to die. We need to slow down, to observe, to grab a lens and to capture all the thoughts and feelings our body and brains are lacking, because depression wants us to stay in one room, to be apathetic about how, even with the curtains down, sunlight will find the tiniest crack and wander its way through. Initially, you might shy away from that light, wish it were night so the full moon could absorb the sun's rays for you. Instead, unmoving, you watch the dust dance in that one beam that penetrated the gloom, the beginning of an opera, where the only singer is you. I'm not an expert on these things. No one really is. The brain is so mysterious, it has layered secrets, like some sort of emotional taco dip. Your conscious thought, the chips you submerge, try to scoop some of your hidden feelings up with them. We're all just a sheet pan with holes and broken bits, leftovers in the potluck of life. I couldn't be an expert even if I tried. That makes it better somehow, for me. I'm an explorer, constantly trying new paths, going on new adventures within myself, each one a fresh start. A beginning. That didn't work last time. Maybe this will? These beginnings are curious ones that make you think, they activate your problem solving. That's what mental illness is. It's simply a math problem waiting to be solved. Find the variables, put them in the right equation, the answer will work itself out. What are your triggers? What is your trauma? What works for you? What doesn't? What haven't you tried? It's about mixing up the combinations: therapy, medication, diet, exercise, meditation. It's about being so tired and still trying one more thing. Just one. Beginning anew each day, you wake up and you take the sunrise for what it is. Whatever that day throws at you, you take it as if it was the first time you'd ever lived. There will still be days where you'll be sad. So sad, in fact, that old patterns will come back, the beginnings overpowered by the middles and the wish for an end to whatever it is that caused all the sad. I promise, those days aren't every day, because every day doesn't exist. There is only one day, today, And you began today brand new, with eyes shining full of endless possibility. That's you. The sad is not who you are. It's a feeling. So feel it. Take those sad days. Tell the sad you hear it. You know it's there. Allow the tears. There is healing in those droplets. Why else would humans have evolved to cry? There has to be some sort of evolutionary reason why. Perhaps tears are the reason we can walk on two legs. We learned to stand upright so they could fall farther, gain a higher velocity, making it easier to soak into whatever they land on. That's their healing power. Tears are not your enemy. Sadness isn't either. They just are. You are. We all are living. It's so simple. And it's so hard. It can be so hard. I'm not discrediting anyone's struggles, just as I've never discredited my own. You can suffer, and you can still feel joy. Neither will last forever, because there's always a new beginning coming. Always. It's right around the corner. I've lost so many things in so many ways. Most notable was my family when I was a teen. Back then, I thought I would have a chasm within me forever. I thought the emptiness was the largest part of my being, and everything else was a mask I would never really believe was real. I thought that it would consume me. It didn't, though, and it won't, because I can see my sadness now for what it really was, what it really is. It's a gift that I give myself. I have wrapped and rewrapped that one heavy box enough to know exactly how large to cut the paper, exactly how many pieces of tape it will take, exactly how big of a bow to make. Then I rip it open, peer in, look upon that which makes me whole without allowing it to become my whole self again. Because I begin 1,000 times a day, each experience a new stitch, a new loop, a new thread, joining together to create my whole life, stretched behind and ahead. Always ahead. I just have to be brave enough to continue to begin again.